Well, I feel like for a lot of us, when you think back or you hear a song from 10, 20 years ago, you're like, I remember every single lyric. I didn't miss a beat. I still got it. And then you walk into the room and you're like, what did I come in here for? You're not the only one, and you're definitely not the only one who's ever noticed this. You can remember song lyrics from years ago, but forget why you walked into a room because our brain, it turns out, uses memory differently. Lyrics get stored in long-term memory, which is strengthened by repetition, emotion, rhythm, and multiple brain systems working together, all things at play when you're listening to music you love. But everyday tasks like grabbing something from another room rely on short-term memory and short-term working memory, which only holds small bits of information, and it's easy to disrupt when you change locations. Your brain can kind of reset that thought, causing a blank moment.
Little ADD going on where you're just thinking about too many things.
One more thing, yep. Psychologists even call this the doorway effect or roomnesia.
Or if you work in news, the what did we just film?
Oh my God, all the time. By the time we are done with filming and we get down the stairs and somebody's like, what'd you talk about on the show today? I'm like, I'll have to watch and find out.
Gonna have to go and see that recording to figure it out. Undoubtedly, this is at least partly true. I have another thing to bring into it here in a second, but this has happened to me a million times where, you can remember, movie quotes and song lyrics and things that happened in your teens like it was yesterday, but that thing that you just wrote down on your notepad, you have to put it down one more time. Like it's just gone.
Yeah. And I think for me especially, anything that I learned in song, there's still a lot of songs that I learned as a child that I can recall now, or little bits and pieces of it. For some reason, my school, we learned Japanese as kids, little guys. Right?
Doesn't everybody?
Doesn't everybody? But there's still a couple of Japanese kids songs that bounce around in my brain from time to time. And I'm like, why do I still have that? And yet I can't remember, why did I walk in here? Why is this in my hand? I must have been doing something with this, but what was it? And I think the worst too is when you put something down somewhere different than it usually goes.
Oh.
And you're like,
oh no.
I put it somewhere special and particular, so I remember where I put it, and then you can't remember where that special spot was, and you're like, I'll never find it.
It's in the abyss.
It
is gone.
In the abyss.
Well, I want to interject with a couple of my own thoughts. Charlie, noted, brain scientist, because that's the term.
Yes.
Neuroscientist. A couple of things. One, I do think there's also a couple of different types of memory. I mean, olfactory memory, your smell has a really big connection, and people remember things differently. I think music has an ability to do that. I think it kind of seeps in a different way. Additionally, I think that when we talk about songs of my youth, my brain worked better at that time.
That's true too.
So it cataloged that in a more functional part of my brain. As I've aged, it's starting to be do we need to keep all this? I'm not sure.
Yeah, and I think our brain does process, so much information, and especially right now where we're getting fed a ton more information, that I think anything that came into your life quickly, it goes just as fast, and you're like, well, that was that.
It makes a sound too. It's
Yep, exactly. But they do say that forgetting why you walked into a room is not necessarily a sign of that your memory is failing, which is good to hear. It's just that our brain categorizes and organizes what's important and what's temporary. And oftentimes, why we walked into a room was a temporary feeling. But I feel it sometimes, just through my body, where I'm like, I walked over here because I always do in the morning, but why am I here right now? Normally I grab my phone, but it's not there. Why am I over here?
It's definitely happened to me in the car where you're not paying attention and you I start driving to work and I'm like, that's not where I was going.
I used to drive to school all the time accidentally, and I'd be like, that is not where I was supposed to be going, and have to just, turn around, do the loop.
This isn't the store.
Exactly. But I feel like this is a feeling that resonates with a lot of people. So maybe if you have more insight into this conversation, you can always join it. Team@coastlife.com. You can also always follow us on our socials. We'd like to hear from you there as well. But we've got more Coast Life coming up. More fun you don't want to miss.